You know what's worse than getting older? It's not the gray hair. It's not the slower mornings. It's not even the creaks in your knees when you stand up. It's becoming invisible. And I don't mean to society. I mean to women, to energy, to life. There's a moment most men over 50 experience when you realize that people stop looking at you the same way. You become background, functional, quiet, predictable. You're no longer the spark in the room. You're the one who holds the camera while the others dance. I remember it clearly. I was walking down the street, and for the first time in my life, no one looked, not even a glance. And that's when it hit me. Damn, I'm fading. But here's the truth no one tells you. You don't fade because of your age. You fade because you believe that's all age gives you. Decline. And today I want to tell you how I reversed it. How I went from invisible to magnetic, from dismissed to desired. And not just by women my age, by women decades younger who started leaning in instead of looking away. No tricks, no scams, no pickup lines. Just the truth about what real grounded masculine energy looks like after 50 and why it's more powerful than ever. Stay with me. If you're a man over 50, this might be the most important hour you give yourself this year. The invisible man syndrome. Let's talk about the slow death. It doesn't come in a moment. It comes in layers. You stop getting compliments. You start holding back your opinion. You avoid the mirror a little more each day. And soon, you don't remember the last time someone looked at you like you mattered. This is the silent collapse of millions of men past midlife. Not because they're weak, but because no one prepared us for this stage. We were taught how to be strong. We were taught how to build. We were taught how to survive. But we were never taught how to evolve. Society teaches men that their value comes from doing, from production, success, physical dominance. So when those things slow down, your identity starts to unravel. What no one told you is this: your most magnetic years begin when you stop being a performer and start becoming a presence. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be impressive. You need to be undeniable. Why younger women notice some older men and ignore others. Let's kill a myth right now. Younger women don't ignore older men because of wrinkles, or gray, or age. They ignore older men who hide their power. Younger women are surrounded by men their age who are emotionally chaotic, insecure, performative. They crave something stable, something grounded, something different. That something is what only a mature man can embody if he owns it. You see, attraction isn't about trying. It's about being. And younger women are drawn to certain older men because those men carry 3 specific qualities. Depth. You've lived. And if you don't bury that under self-doubt, it becomes magnetism. Calm power. You don't react. You observe. You respond. And that's rare. Clarity. You know who you are. You're not trying to be everything. You're just being you. Fully. The younger women who are truly self-aware aren't chasing abs. They're chasing energy. And your energy, if owned properly, is more attractive now than it ever was at 25. The moment everything changed for me, I want to tell you the real story. It wasn't some miracle or random event. It was subtle, quiet, but powerful. I was sitting alone in a coffee shop, reading. No expectations, No trying, just being present. A young woman sat nearby. She looked at me, then looked again, then smiled. At first, I brushed it off. Probably just being polite, I thought. But then she said something that stayed with me forever. You seem like someone who doesn't need anything from anyone. That's rare. Boom. That sentence cracked open everything I'd forgotten about myself. Because somewhere along the way, I had become needy. Not outwardly, not desperately, but emotionally. I'd started looking for validation, hoping someone would tell me I still mattered. That day, I stopped needing it, and the moment I did, people started offering it. It's strange. When you release the desire to prove yourself, people start proving to you that they see you. The death of approval seeking. Let's talk about the thing that destroys more attraction than bad breath, bad clothes, or bad posture. It's neediness, but not the kind people joke about. Not texting too much. Not begging for attention. I'm talking about energetic neediness. The subtle, invisible hunger that says, please see me. Please validate me. Please make me feel like I still matter. And guess what? Younger women can feel that energy like a dog senses fear. It doesn't matter how confident you act. If your internal dialogue is screaming for approval, it will leak out of your body in 1,000 tiny ways. You over-explain yourself. You laugh too quickly. You lean in when you should lean back. You fill every silence because you're afraid she'll get bored. Here's the truth. Most men won't tell you. Attraction isn't created when a woman sees your best version. It's created when she sees a man who doesn't flinch if she walks away. Because that man, that energy, tells her, I'm full, I'm whole, you're invited, but not needed. That's the man women lean into, especially younger women, especially in a world full of men who try too hard. The return of presence. Now let's go deeper. One day I realized I had spent my whole adult life doing for others, doing for my work, doing for my family, doing to stay relevant. And in all that doing, I forgot how to just be. Presence is not a look. It's not how you stand or how slow you speak. Presence is an energetic signal that says, I am here. I am enough. I'm not chasing. I'm not escaping. I'm just fully rooted in this moment. When a man carries true presence, people slow down around him. They speak differently, women especially. You know the type. He walks into a room, and without saying a word, people feel something. It's not intimidation. It's not arrogance. It's the calm power of someone who doesn't need to explain himself anymore. Presence is the single most attractive trait a man over 50 can cultivate. Why? Because presence is rare. It's earned through experience, through heartbreak, through loss, through learning how to hold discomfort instead of running from it. And when you bring that to the table with a younger woman, she'll forget the pretty boys instantly. What to stop doing immediately. Here's where we get tactical. If you're a man over 50 and you want to reconnect with your power, you need to eliminate the habits that are draining your attraction energy every single day. Here are 7 things to stop immediately. Stop apologizing for your age. Never again say, I know I'm old, or joke about being out of touch. Own your years like a warrior owns his scars. Stop competing with younger men. They're not your rivals. They're playing a different game. You have depth. Play your game. Stop trying to keep up. The man who leads doesn't rush. He walks at his pace and the world adjusts. Stop explaining yourself too much. State your truth. Let it land. Don't backpedal. That's what boys do. Stop chasing stimulation. Calmness is sexy. Stillness is powerful. Constant noise is a sign of internal chaos. Stop hiding your standards. Speak what you want. Don't lower the bar to be liked. Stop consuming content that weakens you. If what you watch or scroll makes you feel smaller, dump it. Replace it with things that awaken your masculinity. You are not here to please. You are here to lead. How to flip the switch. The internal shift. All attraction, all energy, all respect begins with how you see yourself. If you want the world, including younger women, to treat you like a man of value, you need to start treating yourself like one. Here's a truth no one talks about. Before she falls in love with you, she subconsciously watches how you love yourself. Do you take care of your body? Do you speak with authority and care? Do you dress in a way that honors your energy, not trends? Do you stand tall even when no one's watching? Do you speak with clarity or hesitation? You don't attract what you say you want. You attract what you embody. And if you carry yourself like someone who knows his worth, even in silence, people start to feel it before you even say a word. That's what I did. I didn't get a makeover. I didn't memorize clever lines. I just remembered how to walk into a room like I belonged in it. And when I did, everything shifted. The new masculinity, how men over 50 lead differently. Let's make something clear. Masculinity doesn't die when you turn 50. It evolves. You're no longer meant to lead through force or volume. You're meant to lead through gravity. You become a center of calm when everyone else is spinning in chaos. You stop chasing. You stop proving. You start moving from intention, not impulse. This is what women, especially younger women, feel but can't always articulate. They say, "There's just something about him. He doesn't try too hard. He makes me feel safe and excited at the same time." That something is the presence of a man who has dropped performance and stepped into purpose. You don't flirt for attention. You flirt because you're enjoying the moment. You don't speak to impress. You speak because you have something worth saying. You don't pursue women to feel worthy. You invite them into your reality, if they're aligned. This version of masculinity can't be faked, and that's why it's irresistible. Energy never lies. What you really transmit to women. Let's break something down that most men never think about. Every man gives off energy, every second, whether he knows it or not. It's in your posture, your tone, your silence, your gaze, your presence when you walk into a room. Even if you say the right words, if your energy is off, women feel it. You can't talk your way into attraction. You must transmit it. Ask yourself, do I walk into a room expecting to be overlooked? Do I brace for rejection before even opening my mouth? Do I shrink to avoid making anyone uncomfortable? If so, your body is broadcasting a signal. I don't believe I'm desirable. That belief is poison. And it's the first thing we must burn away. How? By building congruence. You align your inner world with your outer energy. Start the day by looking in the mirror and saying, This is the man I choose to be today. Set physical boundaries. Not everyone gets your attention. Sit like a man who is not afraid to take space. Speak like every word costs something, because it does. You want women to notice you again. Start by making your own nervous system respect you. Because when your energy says, "I know who I am," everything else aligns. The reclamation ritual. How to become that man daily. This is where most men fall short. They listen. They agree. They even feel inspired. But they don't ritualize the identity of the man they want to become. And without ritual, the fire dies. So let me give you a practical daily ritual to start embodying the magnetic energy of a man 50 plus in his power. When she feels your presence, what happens next? Let's now go into the moment that changes everything. You're out, maybe in a bookstore, a coffee shop, a walk. You're grounded, present, not looking. A younger woman notices you. Not just your face, not just your clothes, but your energy. She senses something. And in that moment, if you stay grounded, if you remain fully in your power, not needing to prove anything, not rushing to impress, you create what I call the pause. That split-second moment where she feels, wait, who is this man? That pause is attraction. That pause is memory. That pause is the beginning of everything. And here's the part that matters. It's not what you say next that makes the difference. It's what you withhold. You don't dump your life story. You don't try to be funny. You don't perform. You just smile and speak from stillness. You seem interesting. What's your story? And the moment becomes real. Why women trust older men? If they show this one thing. Trust is the true currency of attraction. You can be attractive. You can be mysterious. But if a woman, especially a younger one, doesn't feel safe in your presence, she won't move closer. And I'm not talking about physical safety. I'm talking about emotional safety. The ability to be fully seen without being judged. The space to be feminine, playful, vulnerable, without pressure or performance. Here's the kicker. Most older men destroy this without realizing it. How? They try to impress too fast. They sexualize too early. They overshare too much pain too soon. They act like they're just lucky to get her attention. All of this sends one loud message. I'm not grounded in who I am. I'm still trying to earn approval. But when you create emotional safety, everything changes. She leans in. She softens. She begins to feel more herself around you. Because real attraction happens when a woman feels more feminine in your masculine presence. So what creates emotional safety? Boundaries. You don't let her energy pull you off center. Self-respect. You don't try to impress. You invite. Consistency. You don't ghost, disappear, or overreact. Lightness. You hold space, but you bring peace into the room. You don't have to tell her she can trust you. You show her with your calm, your standards, your self-possession, and she'll remember that. How to speak to younger women without sounding old or desperate. Now let's talk communication. This is where a lot of men over 50 overthink and self-sabotage. They wonder, what should I say? How do I avoid sounding old? Should I try to relate to her generation? Wrong question. Here's the truth. You don't need to relate to her world. You need to own yours. Younger women aren't looking for someone who knows every TikTok trend. They're looking for a man who is so rooted in himself that he makes her feel grounded just by talking to him. So how do you speak in a way that creates connection? Use story instead of statements. Don't lecture. Share experience. Instead of, "You should never trust people too quickly." Say, "There was a time in my 40s when I trusted the wrong person. It taught me something I never forgot." Speak from curiosity, not control. Ask questions like, "What's something you believe deeply that most people don't? What makes you feel most alive lately?" Let her open, then listen, and don't rush to fill silence. Keep it lean, keep it clean. Speak less, but speak intentionally. No need for long justifications or oversharing. Mystery is magnetic. Avoid dad mode. You're not here to teach or fix her. You're here to see her. The biggest gift you can give a younger woman is the experience of being fully seen, without trying to change her, fix her, or win her. You're not a competitor. You're not a performer. You're a mirror and a mountain. How to speak to younger women without sounding old or desperate. Now, let's talk communication. This is where a lot of men over 50 overthink and self-sabotage. They wonder, what should I say? How do I avoid sounding old? Should I try to relate to her generation? Wrong question. Here's the truth. You don't need to relate to her world. You need to own yours. Younger women aren't looking for someone who knows every TikTok trend. They're looking for a man who is so rooted in himself that he makes her feel grounded just by talking to him. So how do you speak in a way that creates connection? Use story instead of statements. Don't lecture. Share experience. Instead of, "You should never trust people too quickly." Say, "There was a time in my 40s when I trusted the wrong person. It taught me something I never forgot." Speak from curiosity, not control. Ask questions like, "What's something you believe deeply that most people don't? What makes you feel most alive lately?" Let her open, then listen, and don't rush to fill silence. Keep it lean, keep it clean. Speak less, but speak intentionally. No need for long justifications or oversharing. Mystery is magnetic. Avoid dad mode. You're not here to teach or fix her. You're here to see her. The biggest gift you can give a younger woman is the experience of being fully seen, without trying to change her, fix her, or win her. You're not a competitor. You're not a performer. You're a mirror and a mountain. How to develop a daily presence that women feel immediately. You don't build presence in the moment you need it. Presence is forged in the moments no one's watching. In your silence, in your stillness, in how you breathe before you speak, in how you carry yourself in an empty room. Let me ask you this. Do you walk with intention, or are you always rushing somewhere? Do you look people in the eye, or avoid contact because of old shame? Do you speak slowly and clearly, or do you ramble out of nervous energy? These tiny habits shape your presence. You can't fake it in front of her. You either live it daily or it disappears when it matters most. Build a presence practice. Every morning before your day begins, sit alone, spine straight, feet grounded. Breathe in for 5. Hold for 5. Out for 5. Ask yourself, how would a man of quiet power enter today? Move into your first task with full awareness. No multitasking. Speak less, but speak more on purpose. Repeat this for 30 days and you'll notice something. People listen more when you talk. Women linger longer in conversation. Strangers sense calm around you. Presence is built the same way gravity works. Quietly, powerfully, inevitably. The difference between being wanted and being chosen. Let's clear up a major misunderstanding about attraction. You can be wanted by women and still be disrespected. You can be chased and still feel empty. You can have attention and no connection. Why? Because attention fades, but being chosen hits different. When a younger woman chooses you, not for money, not for fun, not because she's bored, but because you awaken something real in her. That's the difference between a knight and a legacy. But here's the hard part. To be chosen, you must choose yourself first. You must stop outsourcing your power to her attention. Most men over 50 fall into one of two traps. Desperation disguised as politeness. You become overly agreeable, never lead, never take risks. Arrogance disguised as confidence. You try to dominate, flex knowledge, talk over her. Both are repelling. But when you walk into a connection with this energy, I don't need this, but I'm fully available for it. She feels it. She respects it. And she chooses it because you're not just another man chasing her. You're a man calling her into something deeper. Your story is your power, if you know how to tell it. Let's talk about something most men over 50 don't realize. You've lived through more than most people can imagine. And if you've made it this far, you have a story that can open hearts, build bridges, and inspire connection. But most men hide their story out of shame. Or worse, they tell it in the wrong way. Here's the rule. Don't tell your story to impress. Tell it to connect. There's a way to speak your truth that's not bragging, not oversharing, not dumping trauma. It's inviting. You might say, I used to live life on autopilot, did everything I was supposed to. Career, marriage, success. But one day I realized I'd built a life everyone else respected, but I didn't even recognize myself anymore. That opened something in her. Why? Because younger women are drowning in surface-level men who are terrified of honesty. And here you are, speaking truth with no shame, no apology, no filter. That's rare. That's magnetic. Your story isn't a weight, it's a weapon, if wielded with clarity and presence. The shift from passion to purpose, and why that attracts her more. Let's finish this section by addressing something critical. Passion fades, looks fade, trends fade, but purpose shines. When you're a man living with clarity of mission, whether that's your art, your healing, your leadership, your presence, women feel it. You become untouchable, not because you're cold, but because you're aligned. When you have purpose, you stop overthinking. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You start radiating something that's bigger than flirting or dating. And that's what makes her curious. Younger women feel the difference between a man who's just looking for attention and a man who is already in motion. moving towards something bigger than himself. You want to become unforgettable? Don't just desire women. Live a life they want to be invited into.